Hey, what's going on? It's Hobart. Welcome back to my channel and another video. I don't have any fancy intros, so let's get right into it. Today, I will be reviewing my very first digital audio player, which is also known as a DAC. You probably heard that term thrown around a lot lately. A digital audio player is just a fancy iPod with lots of customizations and really incredible sound. So it's my very first digital audio player with this type of customization. Now, there are two different types of this digital audio player. Today, it's the TempoTec V1. Now, there is the V1 and the V1-A. What is the difference? Well, the V1 does not have a built-in DAC, which is a digital audio converter. I know, we're learning lots of terms today. The digital audio converter is not in the V1, while it is in the V1-A. So, as you can see, I have the V1-A. And the digital audio converter, what it does is it transfers the analog signal into a digital signal so that your DAC can play it through your headphones. So if you want to be super customizable and you want to have your very own personal DAC, the V1 is the one you're going to want to buy because that doesn't have the built-in DAC. You can use your DAC, plug your headphones into your DAC, and then the DAC into the DAP, and then you'll be able to listen to your music. If you don't want to mess with any of that and you just want to plug your headphones directly into your DAP, then you're going to want to go with the V1-A because it has the digital audio converter built in. Now, the reason that I got this is because a couple things. I've got some IEMs, specifically the KZ-ZS10 Pro and the TRN-ST1. Those sound great on my cell phone. I've got the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Plug it in, I got good headroom, I got no distortion, I got good sound. But then my AudioSense AQ3 IEMs, which have two Knowles BA drivers and one dynamic driver, those don't sound as good. The bass is distorted, there's no headroom, the volume is low. So after doing some reading and some research, I figured out, I may need a little bit more power. So there are other options when it comes to power as well. You can use a headphone amplifier. Now I've got 3 headphone amplifiers coming right now from TempoTec that I'm going to be reviewing, so I'll do some videos later on. But for now, let's focus on the DAC. Okay, my cell phone was not powering the AudioSense AQ3s efficiently. While this is not known as a high-powered DAC, it does have more power than my cell phone. So when I got this, I plugged in my AudioSense AQ3s, and the distortion was gone in the bass, and my volume was much higher. I had headroom in there, so this helped a lot. I could still add some more power to it, and we can see if it gets any better, which I'll do with the amplifiers once I get them in. Now, my KZ-ZS10 Pros have about a 30 ohm impedance. Sound good in my cell phone. The TRN-ST1 have like a 23-25 ohm impedance. Sound good in my cell phone. The AudioSense AQ3s, 18 ohm impedance. Doesn't sound so good in my cell phone. So I'm not a professional audiophile knowing how all the ohms and the impedances and all that work. I'm still learning that. I've been in radio for 25 years. I'm able to tell you what sounds good and doesn't sound good and give you my opinions, but I am no expert. So if the experts want to chime in on some of the questions in the comments, that's perfectly fine with me. So I did some reading, did some research, found out I might need some power. The lower impedance IEMs or headphones and the really high impedance, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 ohms, require extra power. Think of a speaker system in your car. You can buy some 10s or some 12s and try to plug them into your car and you're going to get nothing out of them. That's why you need to put an amplifier in there, like a 500 watt or 1000 watt amplifier, and that gives the speakers the power to be able to produce that incredible, clear, crisp bass. Or maybe your mids and highs in your car, you get a little amplifier. Same idea. So with the low or the extremely high, you're going to need some kind of an amplifier. While the 30 ohm and the 23, 25 ohm IEMs are great in my cell phone. So those are just some of the things that I've learned so far since I've been doing some research, since I got the AudioSense AQ3s and was like, why don't these sound good? So if you've got a pair of headphones or a pair of earbuds or a pair of IEMs that just aren't sounding like they should plug directly into your cell phone, you may need some more power. Now, this is the V1-A. This has a little bit more power than my cell phone, but it is not amped. This one does have the digital audio converter, so I can take this, plug it directly into my headphones or my IEMs, and I can hear music out of it. So what do you say? Let's go up close. Let's take a look at what this baby's all about. We'll go through the menus, all the customization and the features that are in it, and then we'll come back up top and I'll give you my pros and cons and whether you should buy one of these or not, all right? All right, so here is the TempoTec V1-A up close. It looks just like the V1, except for it has that built-in digital audio converter, so you can get audio directly from your 3.5mm headphone jack here on the bottom. You've also got the USB Type-C connection that they give you. Yes, they give you a Type-C connection, and they give you a Type-C cord that's really nice to go with it. This, of course, is to charge your device and to transfer files back and forth. Over on the side, you have two micro SD card slots. Yep, you get two of them. Also a volume up and volume down on that side. Your power button is on the top. And over here, if you have your screen off, you can use these controls to pause, play, do previous and next track features right here on the side. So screen's off, you can control it from here. Now this is what it looks like from the front. You got your high-res audio sticker on the left bottom and your V1 sticker on the right bottom. Now let's go through some of the menus. These are some of the features that I think that you need to pay attention to. There's a lot that you can do with this, but I'm not going to go over everything. A lot of the stuff you can play with and customize on your own. But in the settings menu here, you're going to want to pay attention to the update database button here. When you put an SD card in and you have new files and you want to transfer them into the device, you have to click this update database button. And what that does is it updates everything from the SD card into the device so that it is available for you to listen to, okay? It does have an auto feature here that you can set, and it works most of the time, 9 times out of 10. But if it doesn't, when it notices you put an SD card in and you don't see it automatically update, you need to come and hit the update database button, and that will do the trick for you, okay? So that's one very important thing you're gonna need to know. You've got other options in here, brightness and color theme and font size and all that good stuff, but the USB mode is also another one you need to pay attention to. If you're going to be hooking this up to a computer to transfer files, you need to be in storage mode. If you're going to be listening to it, you need to be in audio mode. Of course, you have a dock setting if you want to dock it as well, but you'll be mostly using these two. If you try to connect it to your computer in audio mode, it's not going to recognize, and you're going to go, wait a minute, what's going on? Well, that's because you've got it in audio mode. So connect to a computer, storage mode, listen to it in audio mode. So that's the other important section in the settings menu that you're going to want to pay attention to. You've also got some other things like timers on here, standby. Your factory reset is also done in here. So if you've got something going on with the device and you need to factory reset, it's in your settings menu. Firmware updates are easy as well. You just download the firmware from TempoTec's website, put it on your SD card, and then put it in your device and click that button right there and it will update your firmware automatically. I've already done it. It's very easy to do. So that's your settings menu. Equalizer. You've got a 12-channel equalizer on this baby. I don't even know if I know how to customize all 12 channels, but you've got a 12-channel equalizer. All the different frequencies that you can customize to your own liking. If you don't want to mess with any of that, it does have some presets. You can go pop, blues, classic, jazz, rock, dance, metal, and voice. So you can click on those depending on the type of music you're listening to, or if it's just a type of sound you want to hear from your device and see what one of these sounds good to you. If none of them do, you've got that custom option as well. So not only do you have an equalizer, you have this MSEB option. And in here, you can customize the sound even more. Overall temperature of the sound. Do you want it to be cool and bright or warm and dark? The bass extension, light or deep? Bass texture, do you want it fast or thumpy? The note thickness, crisp or thick? Do you want your vocals to be recessed or forward? There's just a whole bunch of different options in here that you can customize to your liking to go just one step further from the equalizer. So that's the MSEB. Now this device also has Bluetooth. Well, what do you use Bluetooth for, Hobart? Well, that's what I'm talking about, is because this is so small and easy to put in your pocket, what I do is I'll turn the Bluetooth on, plug in my IEMs to the bottom, put it in my pocket, and then I'll use my cell phone to control the audio. Well, why would I do that? Well, that saves me from having to download the music, putting it on an SD card, and then putting it into the device. Now, there's some websites you can go to and, watch an advertisement and download a song, or you can pay for the song, or you can be a part of a subscription service where you're able to download the song, but that all costs money. So why not do it for free? And this will give you the ability to take advantage of the equalizer settings, the power settings, all of the different settings in here so you get really good high-res audio, but you're able to use YouTube or SoundCloud or Pandora's free services to play the different content that you want to. So that's an amazing feature that I'm really happy with. on this device. If I want to just connect Bluetooth, I don't have to go through transferring files over to it, okay? Your play settings here, this is where you can choose shuffle or loop. You've also got, if your device goes off, do you want it to resume from the same position or from the same track? You've got max volume control, so if you want to turn that down so that you cannot go up past a certain point with your volume controls on the side here, you can do that. Crossfade, there's gain, high and low settings on here. So I've got mine on high so I get really loud. I like my music loud. And then you can choose whether you want it to play through your folders or play through your albums. So those are your different play settings. Now, the last two is browse, which you've got your micro SD card 1, which I've got stuff in, micro SD card 2, and then there's also the USB storage section. So if you have it hooked up as USB storage, that's where you would go. But this is not necessarily where you play your music from. You can, but category is where I go. All is where everything lives. You've got different albums, artists, genres. If you are on a track, there's a little heart button you can click and that will put it in your favorites. There's a recents section and then you can create playlists, all within the category. But I just mainly go to all. It's on shuffle mode. I hit play and I go from there. So those are all of the different menu settings. Keep in mind the important ones are your settings menu in here, making sure that you have your USB mode in the right way. Do you want it to in storage to connect to the computer or audio to listen? And then when you put new songs or new content onto your device, make sure you click that update database button so that all of it transfers from your SD card onto the device, okay? So that is the TempoTec V1-A up close. That's an in-depth look inside the menus. So what do you say? Let's go back up top. I'll give you my pros and cons and whether you should spend your money on this guy. All right, let's go over some pros and cons of this guy. Pro number one is definitely going to be the size. This is a really small, compact device. It's not a small, cheap piece of plastic. It's really a nice device. Now, some of these DAPs these days can get really big and clunky, and it's hard to put them in your pocket and take them around with you. While this guy right here, you probably wouldn't even notice that it's in your pocket. So size is definitely pro number one. Pro number two is it's got Bluetooth. So if you don't want to go through the trouble of trying to transfer music from your computer into an SD card and into the device, all you have to do is turn on Bluetooth, put this baby in your pocket, and use your cell phone to stream YouTube, stream SoundCloud, Pandora, any of those free services so that you don't have to pay a subscription in order to download, in order to transfer onto an SD card. So Bluetooth is definitely a plus on this device. Another plus is the fact that you get USB Type-C connection. A lot of these Chinese devices are coming with the old USB connection. This one comes with the USB Type-C. None of us have any of those old cords laying around the house, so if we lose the cord, we have to go buy another one. Well, I have plenty of Type-Cs laying around the house, and the good news, the extra plus, the extra pro, is that they give you a really good high-quality cable to go with this. So you get a USB Type-C cable that goes with this. I also like the fact that you get two micro SD card slots on the side, so that's another pro. The controls on the outside, so you can pause, go to the previous track or the next track without having to turn on the screen. That's definitely another pro. The build quality is nice. This is not just a small little piece of plastic. The case is made out of metal. It's got a nice weight to it. They give you a free thick screen protector on here so it protects the screen. So the build quality is definitely a pro for sure. Also the price, you get a lot in this device, really good build quality, lots of customization in your audio, double SD card slots, controls on the outside for $100. So it's definitely a pro on the price. Now the other pro is that you get two different versions. For those of you who want to use your own external digital audio converter or DAC and you don't want to use the one built in, you have the option to buy this, still get all the features and all the quality, but without the DAC in the V1. If you want to use the DAC that's built into here and not use an external custom DAC, you buy the V1-A. And I'm gonna put a link to both of those in the description so you can choose which one that you want. As far as cons, I got a couple of them. The first one is the instruction manual does not tell you much. So things that you're gonna have to figure out on your own. That's one of the reasons why in the up close I was showing you the update database button and the USB settings to change it from audio into storage so that if you do hook it up to your computer and it's in audio and you go, well, why isn't it noticing my plugin on my computer? It's because you don't have it in storage mode. So those are things that I had to learn that nobody told me. That's why I wanted to forward those on to you and show you those. So the instruction manual does not give you much. The other thing that I noticed is that when transferring music over, that you can't leave the SD card in and hook this up to your computer and transfer over. At least I couldn't. Every time I tried to do that, it would change my MP3s into AAC files, and it would throw an error code -12. And I couldn't figure out why. I'm currently talking to TempoTec to try to figure out why that's happening. But what I did to fix the issue, and if you're watching this video this late, then you're gonna get a very big tip right now. When you're trying to transfer over songs from your computer onto the SD card, remove the SD card from the device, put it in an adapter, put that into your computer or laptop, do the transfer that way, then remove the SD card, put it back in the V1 or the V1-A, and update database. That is going to make sure that your MP3s stay MP3s and that you'll be able to play your songs without getting any error codes. So one more time, remove the SD card, put it in an adapter in your laptop, do your transfer, remove the SD card from your laptop, put it back in the device, and update database, and you're gonna be able to play all the songs. If you don't do that, you're gonna get error codes left and right. So once I find out what the problem is, I'll definitely update you, but that's a pro tip for you there as well. So those are my 2 cons. Other than that, I love the customization, I love the build quality, just love the device, I love the portability, I especially love the Bluetooth. So would I buy one of these? Yes, I definitely would buy one of these. And I suggest that you do too if you're looking for something small, portable, powerful, customizable, and something that sounds really good. Now, I did say earlier in the video, I am gonna have some headphone amplifiers. They're on their way from TempoTec right now. I'm gonna have 3 different amplifiers. I'm gonna do some videos on those specifically, but I also wanna use those, do a video on using those with a cell phone and using those with something like this, the V1-A. So those videos will be coming up. For now, I'm gonna put a link in the description for both the V1 and the V1-A. And also, if you like what I'm doing here, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. It does help me more than you know. And until next time, my friends, I really do appreciate you watching, and have a great rest of your day. See ya.